In the year 1991, before smartphones, before social media, before dreams were posted online for likes, dreams were whispered quietly, sometimes only to the heart. This is the story of four friends. They grew up on the same dusty street, under the same broken streetlight, sharing the same sky full of stars. They were different in money, different in family, different in opportunity. But one thing was the same. They all had dreams. And one boy had a dream so big, the world kept telling him it was impossible. In the year 1991, before smartphones, before social media, before dreams were posted online for likes, dreams were whispered quietly, sometimes only to the heart. This is the story of four friends. They grew up on the same dusty street, under the same broken streetlight, sharing the same sky full of stars. They were different in money, different in family, different in opportunity. But one thing was the same. They all had dreams. And one boy had a dream so big, the world kept telling him it was impossible. Ethan lived in a one-room house with his mother. His father had died when Ethan was 6, working a night shift at a factory. Since then, life had been a daily struggle. His mother worked 2 jobs, cleaning houses in the morning and working at a diner at night. Every night she came home exhausted. But Ethan never complained. Instead, he asked questions. Why does the sky change color? How does electricity travel? What makes stars burn? His mother didn't know the answers, but she always said one thing. If you keep asking questions, one day you'll find answers. One day in school, the teacher asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Hands went up. Football player. Business owner. Rock star. Then Ethan stood up. I want to be a scientist. The classroom went silent. Then laughter. A boy shouted, "Scientists are rich people, not poor kids." Another said, "You can't even afford lunch." Ethan sat down slowly. His friends didn't laugh, but they didn't defend him either. That silence hurt more than the laughter. As years passed, life changed. Michael started helping in his father's store. Daniel joined a football academy. Robert got his first guitar. Ethan started working after school, washing dishes, delivering newspapers, fixing old radios for neighbors. Sometimes he studied under streetlights because electricity was cut at home. One night, Daniel said, "Why do you work so hard?" "You'll never make it." Ethan replied quietly, "Because my dream doesn't know I'm poor." That night, something broke inside the friendship. In 1996, Ethan was accepted into a science competition at the state level. But there was a problem. The entry fee was $75. To some, it was nothing. To Ethan, it was impossible. That night, his mother sold her wedding ring. Ethan cried when he found out. She held his face and said, "Dreams cost something, my son. If not money, then sacrifice." Ethan entered the competition. He didn't win, but a judge noticed his project and noticed him. After high school, the four friends went separate ways. Michael took over the family business. Daniel injured his knee. His football dream ended. Robert struggled in the music industry. Ethan almost quit everything. College fees were too high. One night, Ethan stood outside a university lab window, watching students work. He whispered, "Maybe this world isn't for me." That same judge from years ago found him again. He offered Ethan a partial scholarship. It wasn't enough. So Ethan worked nights, studied days, slept 3 hours. There were days Ethan wanted to quit. Days he fainted from exhaustion. Days his mother begged him to rest. Days he watched friends succeed while he struggled. One winter night, his mother collapsed from illness. Hospital bills piled up. Ethan sold his books. He almost dropped out. But his mother, weak on the hospital bed, said, "If you stop now, my sacrifices mean nothing." That sentence burned into his soul. In 2004, Ethan published his first research paper. No headlines, no applause. But it mattered. Years later, he joined a research team working on renewable energy technology. His work helped develop a system that reduced energy waste. One day, he stood in a lab wearing a white coat. He remembered the boy with torn shoes. He cried. In 2010, the four friends met again. Michael's business had ups and downs. Daniel worked as a coach. Robert taught music to kids. Then Ethan arrived, quiet, humble. When they learned he was a scientist, no one laughed. Daniel said softly, "You were the bravest among us." Michael added, "We had money. You had belief." Ethan said, "I had a mother who believed when no one else did." This is not a story about being poor. This is a story about not quitting. Dreams don't care where you come from. They only ask one question. Will you fight for me when it hurts? Ethan did, and that made all the difference. If you are watching this, and the world tells you your dream is too big, remember, in 1991, a poor boy dared to dream of science, and history listened.